Buenos días, chicas y chicos. ¿Cómo están? I want to talk to you a little bit about the notes that I sent you out yesterday, Español dos. It might seem a little bit hard to comprehend, and that is totally okay. This is an interesting way, and it takes some time, but we will go through it, and you will learn this and be able to speak about things in the pasado correctamente. So, if we look, we've got talk about things that happened in the past. That when I introduced the imperfecto, the imperfect the other day, we talked about that's the aba and the ia, the only three regulars. The preterite is what we learned first. We learned how to say, I went to the store, I ate in the cafeteria, I ran the race. Those both are going to be important. And we use these in English, we just don't know that. We just don't recognize it as easily. Because it just comes naturally for us as English speakers. But in Espanol, it is important to be able to communicate the meaning. Now, the book says, and I wrote this in those notes, and if you have those notes, they're important. I just wanted you to go through them. I'm going to go through them with you here, so that'll actually help maybe kind of be a little more like guided notes. So, it is important to know the conjugation. So if you need to go back and look, I gave you that preterite, the Bible. The preterite Bible that had all the kind of irregularities. It's got the stem change, it's got the first and second, third class stem changers, all those things. Ir, fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Those, all the really tough ones to get. That is the preterite. The imperfect were the ones we just learned. The aba, abas, abamos, aben for AR, and then ia, ias, ia, iamos, ian for IR and ER. There's only three regulars in there. Ir, ser, and ver. So know the conjugations, then we can talk about how this works. Okay, so the preterite is defined as having a definite beginning or ending. Now it doesn't have to be stated. For example, if you want to say, I went to the store, yo fui a la tienda. Okay, using the preterite. We're just stating that I went to the store. Okay, I'm not stating a definite time, but by using the preterite, I'm giving it a specific, it happened. Okay, without anything else happening, I just went to the store. Imperfecto, okay, is defined as a repeated or habitual action. I like to put this also continuous action. Okay, repeated over and over. Habitual means also where you did something over and over, like I used to. Okay? I used to, repeated or habitual action. I used to go to the store. I used to go to that store, for example. Yo iba a esa tienda. I didn't put a time on it. I just used this to say I used to go to the store, or it could have meant I was going to the store depending on what I'm trying to say. This is really important. Okay, now I gave you this, I used to, that sort of thing. And some of you try to come up with the word used to but when you use this ending, the aba or ia, you are giving that reference. Okay, you don't actually have to add words used to. Okay, so some of you have that. So we've got those two different things. Now this one says beginning and ending is not known, or it's also not, or it's just not important. Okay. These are, again, I want you to understand, these are guidelines. Most sentences could be flipped back and forth between preterite and perfect, depending on what you or the speaker is trying to say. Okay. Now, there's some other things that really help us. And I went through 7 different things here that really give us definition on what we're trying to say and help. So there's keywords. So I said keywords. If you're going to talk about the preterite, some keywords in the preterite. Yesterday, last night. We're giving definite times, right? We're giving definite specific times something happened. Yesterday, I went to the store. Last night, I ate sushi. Pretérito. It's an action. I gave it a specific time. Okay? So keywords are very helpful. Now, if you change those to sometimes, every summer, every Tuesday, once in a while, these are con frecuencia, frequently, siempre, always. So I always ate at that restaurant when we went to Columbus. So now I'm saying I didn't eat there yesterday. I might have eaten there yesterday, but you say, oh, I always ate at that restaurant when we would go. Okay? Siempre comía en este restaurante. En ese restaurante. Perdón. Okay? That. All right? Keywords are going to be probably one of the major things that help you. And you can define what you're trying to say by using keywords too. Like, man, I don't know if I should say this in this tense or this tense. Oh, use a keyword. Instead of just saying I went to the store, I went to the store yesterday. Then you know, yo comí, or sorry, yo fui a la tienda ayer. Yesterday I went to the store. Preterite. Okay, time and date. It was 3 o'clock. Now this one it seems strange because you're like, well, isn't time defined by time? Yes. This is one of those rules that you just have to, and it is straight across the board. If it is time or date, it is the imperfect. It was 5 o'clock. Eran las cinco. Eran, you ser, of course. Eran las cinco in the imperfecto. Okay? It was the 12th of April. Era el 12 de abril. Era, it was. Okay? Always with time and date. Age, always with imperfecto. When I was 5, I was scared of the dark. Cuando yo tenía, because remember we use tener with age. Cuando yo tenía 5 años, tenía miedo de la oscuridad. I was afraid of the dark. Okay? Weather. It was nice outside. It wasn't nice outside. It was good weather. It was bad weather. We're describing. Now, one of the notes that I said, my attempt to kind of define this is, listen, if you're setting the scene, what was happening? What was going on? The weather was nice. It was cold outside. It was a beautiful day on the lake. We're describing that. It's not important to time. We're just describing, okay? It was a beautiful day on the lake, imperfect. I caught the biggest fish ever. I caught the biggest fish ever would be an action that will be defined by that time. Okay, so pretérito. Again, I'm trying to go through these. I know that some of the stuff is going to be tricky. We'll get through it, no problem. Okay, expressions. I threw this on there because like tener expressions, we've got a lot of tener expressions. I have here, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, I'm cold, hot, lucky, I wanted to. Tener, always use these expressions, always use imperfecto. Okay? Kind of fits with these mental activities. So I'm hesitant to say physical activities go over there, mental activities go over here, because physical activities can go both sides and mental activities can go both sides. Guidelines. Mental activities typically go over here. I wanted to eat at that restaurant, but we couldn't. I wanted to go see my friends. I really liked that movie. Okay? To like, to want, to think, those need to be over here. Again, not important at the time, and it was just kind of a continuous action. I was thinking, okay, mental activity. And then the last one, descriptions, physical and emotional. You're describing the setting again. He was such a nice guy, okay? He was very smart. He knew what he was talking about, okay? She was really tall. Oh man, he was super athletic, okay? You're talking about descriptions, and that goes over here, okay? We're describing the scene, you're describing people, that is here. So, and now it seems like it's heavy this way, and it is a little bit because we're trying to learn this. We've already learned that, so we're trying to give you some things with this. Now, there's some other things that we will add to this, like actions that are happening at the same time. I was eating while she was making dinner, okay? That was happening, okay? I was eating while. That's why I put the word while, which is mientras, some of the last two words. And then when is important because you could say, I was eating dinner when the doorbell rang. I was eating dinner. Yo comía cuando sonó el timbre, when the doorbell rang. We're talking about interrupting an action. If you think about the imperfect can be a line, a timeline, it's happening, and something interrupts it. Okay? The line that's continuous, imperfect. The line that interrupts, preterite. Again, there's a bunch. You will get this. It just takes some practice. Use the things that you know that are already here, and then ask questions about things that you maybe come across. Okay? That should do it. Please email me any questions. Hopefully that helps. Go through these notes. If you have any questions at all, let me know. Gracias. Hope you guys are doing great. Hasta luego.